stage. Like toddlers, I know what to do with them. I can play with kids. But when they're under a year, they're like a foreign object to me in many ways. I don't know what to do. And so that worries me. And so I'll tell you what, if you'll take primary care for the infant, I'll take care of you and the infant. And how would that be? And I think that's the right role. I really do believe that. And you might think, well, that's sexist. It's like, well, no, not necessarily. How are you so sure that that first year as a mother isn't one of the great parts of the fundamental adventure of being female? Like, so don't give me any crap about that being sexist. That's just, I don't think so. You know, and so what I would do is watch my wife, and if she got tired, spell her off. And I did what I could to take care of the infant, but I knew that, you know, she would take care of that while I stumbled around trying to learn how. And she did that, and that worked fine. And then, you know, as the kids got older, I took more and more responsibility for them. And when my daughter was about 2.5, I think that's right, 1.5, we had our second child. And then I took care of Michaela, the older child, quite a lot after that, because Tammy, of course, was busy, especially that first year with the infant, with Julian. But that worked well. That was a good division of labor as far as I was concerned. And also my wife was very happy about that because she loved to take care of infants. And that's characteristic of a lot of women, you know, and even those that don't admit it. And it's too bad they don't admit it because, what, there's something wrong with that? Is there something? I saw this tweet the other day about this grandmother, mother of a mature daughter, and the daughter had announced that she was never going to have kids, and her mother said, "Oh, I think that's just great. You know, you're gonna just live for you, and that's just wonderful, and I'm glad you can be so independent." And I thought, how could you possibly say something that stupid to your daughter? It's like, you don't want grandchildren, and you're so sure that she's just not ideologically addled about the fundamental realities and beauties and depth of life. It's like, how many things do? We have a career if we're lucky, or a job if we don't. If we're not, we have an intimate relationship, we have a family. That's life, man. You miss one of those, well, you can do it, but it's a big deal not to do that. So.
Yeah. No, that.
Okay, so you guys heard that. So it's really interesting to hear this. So he said that even his own wife really only wanted, like, was part of the main reason why she wanted to marry him was because he had lots of good, high-paying jobs going for him. So he understood the hypergamous nature of his own wife. So that's really interesting to hear that. What he did say in a different, I can't find it in this one, but in this same interview, you guys watch it. I'll link the full video down below to the roommate. Shout out to them for actually doing the video. But he did say, he was like, hey, you know, so I'll take care of you and you take care of the children and stuff like that. And so I think it's very good to talk about these sorts of issues and just talk about this division of labor when it comes to childbearing in general. It's so important to leave a legacy. Everyone wants to leave a legacy. And he said it best, like, there's only so many things that in a human life that you do. And so, you know, that are major milestone events. And having a child is one of those things that is part of the human experience. And I agree with him on that. So he did say that women, one of the female experiences is like is the primary care of an infant. And it's so interesting because, Jordan, you still, once again, you want to talk about how it is mainly the woman's duty and like it's her, you know, it's her role for primary care of the infant. And as the child gets older, that responsibility starts to shift a little bit more to the father. So he understands the importance of a bi-parent household. And so I just have to ask you, Jordan Peterson, you want to give women the responsibility, the duty. You want to label them. You want to give it to them like it's your duty to take care of the infant. But at what cost? What accountability? So because a woman does take primary care of the infant, child, toddlers, is she allowed to do that by any means necessary? Meaning suck and drive the man that she had the baby with? Like, I'm saying all this because look at the other broadcast by Jordan Peterson that I'm about to do on this one, you guys. And he contradicts himself a bit. But it is nice to hear him talk about this and say things like this in this manner. I'm gonna keep this a little short on this one, you guys, because this is probably one of the only times that I've actually really agreed with Jordan Peterson as amongst the dynamic between men and women in this interview with the roommates. This is the only good one, so I'm gonna leave it at this right here. Leave it on a high note. And Jordan Peterson, well spoken, well said. And I'm gonna get the next video up so that I can berate you on the next one, okay? Because this shit is, I'm not gonna let this slide. Like, this is just not okay. I know some people may not care. Once again, it's unpopular opinions. I don't expect you to understand, but I will bring up the unpopular aspects and perspectives of previously unchallenged authorities on the internet and just in general. You know, this shit needs to be talked about. So once again, it's Trey with the popular opinions, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you on the next one.